Today we're slowing down to look at our community through the eyes of someone living right here in Leicester. I'm sitting down with Fiona to talk about the changing face of our city, the history of her family, and the universal experience of facing the second Christmas after losing a loved one. Let's start at the beginning. Are you Leicester born and bred?
Most definitely I am.
And which neighbourhood did you grow up in?
I grew up in Highfields, not far from the train station. It was a community, absolutely amazing. We didn't have any friction, everybody mixed.
When you close your eyes and think of Leicester, of your childhood, what comes to mind?
Well, what comes to mind is the house parties that we used to have. Because I was on my own growing up, a lot of people come to the house parties, so I would always sneak into the kitchen and get the little bit of food for myself and then go back to my bed. But I would look through the door and watch all the dancing going on, especially various things. When it came to Christmas time, it was various things that were doing. The cooking of the pepper pot, the smell of the homemade bread that my dad did, and things like that. When the parties, the smell of the curry, the chicken curry, and the rooty, which you use, which is a Guyanese dish. And I just loved it, watching all that, and the music that you had. One particular song I remember particularly, it's called Your Local Dish. When you must agree, I love your pepper pot and metallurgy. It's people like you, people in the nation, people in the to damn botheration. Catch the hell out of my house. So my parents, even though they came from Guyana, they brought a bit of Guyana there, and I learned a lot from that. So like party times, I learned a lot looking through that door.
You're talking about your home inside the house a lot. What about outside Leicester?
Outside of Leicester, I always went to church. St. Peter's Church was my haven. Every Sunday go to church. And also I went to the school in Gopsall Street, St. Peter's. Also, what also happened, I had steel band lessons as well. Mr. Cy Jakes, the late Mr. Cy Jakes, I had those as well. So I would mix with everybody in the community. It was, how do I explain? Summertime, we had play schemes. So I went to Melbourne Road. Sometimes I'd venture to Spinney Hill Park, but the furthest I'd go is East Park Road, because when I had to go and get my glasses, I'd go that far. And it was an adventure. You know what we used to do, we kids? We used to play in the ropes in the street. There was 3 boulders and we used those as posts. We played outside. If we had any argument, we'd argue it through. Mobile phones, that didn't exist. I had 2 pence in my pocket for an emergency. The red box, that was the phone box, but we communicated, and that was the greatest joy. We were allowed to be kids, and we were kids. We were so innocent. We talked to each other, we had fun. We played hopscotch, we played with our balls, we played marbles. It was just amazing. The city centre, amazing. Lewis's, how can you forget Lewis? That's part of Leicester. The old wooden escalator, Santa Claus up on the 3rd floor. I'm sure there's those of you who can remember it. And we had various nightclubs that my parents did go to a few of them. Bailey's. Then you have the Palais. C&A, where Primark is. Littlewood, Woolworths. It was amazing. Going to the city centre was amazing. The Odeon Cinema, which is the Athena, and you also have the ABC cinema. So we had 2 cinemas. We were privileged too, and it was absolutely fantastic. I remember very, very young, in Granby Street, there used to be the old picture house. And I remember that, but I was very, very small. And the market, trips to the market with my mum, my feet used to get stamped on. I hated those trips, but it was an experience. £2 for this, £2 for this, £3 for this, get your oranges, get your apples, this, that, the other. It was amazing. And especially when it came to Christmas time, Go into Lewis's, I'd get that golden coloured pen, put the name on there. Amazing. Ainsley's for your records. Absolutely amazing. How I explain Christmas to you. It's a joy. It's a pleasure. Family time. And not only that, now I'm in a time where my dad's not here. And I will not forget, because I am doing the things that he did. Baking the bread, baking the pepper pot, baking my cake, baking my ginger beer. And what do? I share it with people that have helped me. That's what I do. This is the second Christmas, so what I do, I light a candle. That's what I do to remember him. And I also go to the cathedral and light candles for other people as well. And I remember the songs, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost knocking at your door. All these lovely songs, jingle bell, jingle all the way. My message to people today, yes, it's Christmas, it's a family time, but it's not about giving. Let's remember those who are not here. And I would say to you, this is an opportunity. If you have any ills or quarrels with anybody, forgive and hope, and above all, show your love, because you know what, tomorrow's not promised to any of us. So I wish you a prosperous Christmas, a peaceful one, and a happy New Year. From Fifi, Queen Bee, that's me.
That's lovely. Thank you for the Christmas wishes. And coming back to your dad, can we still discuss him a bit? Was he a Leicester Man?
My dad was born in Guyana, South America. He was a carpenter by trade, and he came with his trade here. I know he travelled a lot of it, because through listening to the conversations, I know he went to Bristol. He worked in London a lot, and then obviously he made his home here in Leicester. Now I remember being in the one bedroom, right, with the paraffin heater. My dad taught me these morals, which I've always held. Always treat people the way you want to be treated. Never envy anybody for what they've got, because you don't know how they've got it. Be thankful for what you have, because somewhere in the world somebody else is suffering. And the last one, mother may have, papa may have, but God bless the child that has its own, which is really important. So even though my dad is not here physically, he's here with me spiritually, here in my heart. And yes, I still get the tears. I am sad that he's not here, but we can't live forever. We are born, and the one thing we know in life, we are going to die. So my moral in life, do good. And once you do good and make your peace with everybody who you can, and always, my dad always said to me, always try your best. And that's what I've always done. So you know what? I know he's looking down at me. And I know he's not in pain, he's not suffering. He lived a good life. 89 years. That is a legacy. Legacy.
We'll have little quirks that make us human. Was there something funny or unique he did? Maybe a hobby, the way he drank his tea, or a joke he always said?
I think the one thing with my dad, he loved doing his baking. He loved to bake, and he'd always listen to the Saturday show to get ideas. And when he baked, he'd go out and share. And woe betide anyone that came in that kitchen when he was in there. No. Do not go in the kitchen when he's baking. And I know, and the other thing, his pride and joy, his car. Don't mess with him in that car. Do not mess. I never dare ask him. The only time obviously I used it is when he wasn't very well, and then I used it. But he was a strict father, but he meant well. He meant well. You know, he'd give me advice, and I know I was very much like him, very stubborn, but he made me who I was. and I'll never forget him, regardless of whatever's happened. You know, you have your ups and downs. We all learn to say sorry, but a lot of it is through what he went through in his life. And he always said, always have your own stuff. Like I said, mother may have, father may have, but God bless the child that has his own. And he was a very Christian man. Don't interrupt him when he's doing his prayers, you know. Every morning, always say his prayers. Always. And that he was very religious. A very religious man.
What is one specific memory of him that always makes you smile, no matter how hard the day is?
I think one thing with my dad, being positive. Always positive, listening to his music, and always, he was a hugger. He was a hugger. So I love that. Even when he would go where, always hugging, and messages that he was saying, love you, love mum and dad, always. Never forget. Christmas time, birthdays, whatever you gave him, he was thankful. So it didn't matter. The fact that you tried and he gave it you, he was always thankful. Always. So that's what I will remember him for. And I try to do the same. Whenever people do anything for me, I always say thank you. And he taught me manners and respect. And that I will always hold. I remember going somewhere, and it was at Highfields Rangers, and somebody there said to me, "You're never young, daughter." And he said, "How do you know that?" "Your mannerisms are like him." So I thought, oh my goodness. People always say you end up turning out like your parents, but hey ho, I am part of him. That's how it goes.
It's clear he was a huge part of your life, but now you're facing a major milestone without him. How are you feeling as we get closer to Christmas?
I'm feeling joyful. I'm feeling happy because I've come a long way. There will be a few tears, I know, on Christmas Day. I can't say there's not going to be. And I would say I will never forget my dad. And I would say to others, your loved ones, you will never forget them. Memories. Memories don't live like people do. They always stay with you, whether things are good or bad. There was something that you had. So, and I remember my dad saying to me, look after yourself. Because if you don't look after yourself, nobody else is going to do it for you.
Grief often catches us by surprise. Have there been unexpected moments, maybe a song in a shop or a smell that just stopped you?
Yes, there has. I was in Poundland and there was a song, Christmas song coming out, and I just burst into it. It was like the rivers of Babylon. I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop. Absolute rivers of Babylon. And I just had to stand there and then let the tears come out. Because I think if you hold it back, it just gets immersed inside you. So whatever pain or grief you've got, let it out. It's the best way because you're expressing it. Some people will say to me, are you okay? And I tell them the truth. No, I'm not okay. I feel a bit low. So that they know. And it's okay to say you're not all right. It is. It's fine.
Christmas is everywhere right now. Lights, music, parties. Grief can feel very isolating when the rest of the world is celebrating. How are you coping with that contrast?
What I'm trying to do, I make sure that every day I light a candle to my dad every day. He's there in my thoughts all the while. I have pictures that I'll look at and recollect and reflect on the memories. And it's like I will say things to certain people, I'm missing him. And it's understandable, you know, and it's here. And I think as long as you hold on to those memories, it will help you cope because they're memories to treasure. And it's like makes me think, I want to be like him. And you know what? If I can do that, what memories then will people think of me when I'm gone?
So, was your dad a big Christmas man?
Well, it'd be like a couple of days before, he'd go with my mum, he'd go and buy the turkey, and he would be the one who would season up the turkey, wash it and everything. And also, like I said, he'd always make his bread, and he made his bread. Then also I remember him telling me when he was a young kid how he had it was a matchbox, and then for the wheels you had corkscrews from the tops of bottles, and they were nailed in, and that's what his gift, because obviously he came from poor, but he was thankful, just thankful. And I remember all the food stuff that we have, it's reminders of home.
In our modern world, we often talk about people being lonely or disconnected. Since losing your dad, how has Leicester community reacted? Have neighbours or strangers surprised you with their kindness?
I have had strangers that have helped me. I've had certain people that have helped me. I have to mention a lady called Dolly. Oh, she's helped me immensely, encouraged me. I go to a bereavement hub. They're like another family to me. They help me as well. Cheryl, she knows who she is, Cheryl Farrell, who works at the African Caribbean Centre. I go to various groups, and I find their kindness helps me, because especially when people are sharing what they've been through, especially a friend of mine, Yvonne Leacock, school friend, she would share things. This is how I felt. She says, things will get better for you. And I'm learning to cope. I have a friend at the moment who's just struggling at the moment, but I just say to her, you'll get through it. My motto is, what I do when I send text to people, I'm sending you armbands of encouragement, positive energy and love, which helps people. Just those few kind words will help people. I've had so much, my church people that have helped me, and people that have passed who will give me positive words. I'm very stubborn, and sometimes you don't realise when you're sitting down and you're going through it, then you realise, oh, you know what that person said to me, that was right. And my music is my medicine, and that is healing. My music is really healing. And I'd like to give a big thank you to Pat Monroe for working as hard at Steel Band, because that's helped me, and Auntie Millie, who has helped me a lot.
Do you think we as society are good at talking about grief? Do people know what to say to you, or do they awkwardly avoid the topic?
I think some people find it difficult because they don't know what to say, and they feel as though they might say the wrong thing. But you know what? It's better that they say something instead of nothing, because this is a journey that we are all going to go through. It's that we just don't know when it's going to happen, and we don't know how and which member of our family it is going to happen to. So I think it's important that we talk about grief, because it's part of the process of life and we can't avoid it. And I think if anything, I'm not saying it's going to make it easier, it might not, but having preparation and being prepared and talking and knowing that you've got somebody to talk to, I think that's important. Talking is healing. It is so important that people lend a listening ear. If you see somebody who looks down, say to them, would you like to sit down? Are you feeling a bit sad? And it does make a difference. You'll be amazed.
Finally, Fiona, when we look back at this video years from now, what is one thing that you want the world to remember about your dad?
I want you to remember that love is what matters in this world, and saying thank you and saying you love somebody makes a difference, because it seems that it's lacking a lot, and we have to learn to forgive, which has taken me a long while. There's certain things that have happened to me, and I'm going through that process, because when you do these things, everything, all the stress, everything becomes lighter. It becomes lighter. So forgive, hope things will get better, and the biggest one of all, love. As Bob Marley would say, one love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, Fiona. Grief is the price we pay for love, and it's clear there was a lot of love there. If you're watching this and finding the season difficult, know that you're part of this community and you're not alone.
This song has helped me a lot through all the difficulties that I've got, and I've held on to it because of my faith. I was questioning God. I said, why, God, why are you making me go through this? You know? But one of the songs that I found that helped me was one from Mary Mary, which I'll give you a clip of. I just can't give up now. Come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe he's brought me this far to leave me. Now, it's a song that's talking about going through storms and struggling, and what I found, singing that all the while uplifted me, so I never gave up. Another one, I'm very much into my gospel, as you can see. Black butterfly, you can do most anything your heart desires. Freedom comes with understanding who you are. Spread your wings and fly. A genius has been asleep too long. A people with a beauty rich and strong. A heritage that rates death unto none. Spread your wings and fly. There's so many songs that I can be singing to you. I mean, it's gone through a journey. James Brown. You know, this is a man's world, but it would be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl. A lot of uplifting songs. Aretha Franklin. Whenever I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you while combing my hair now, wondering what there's to wear now. I say a little prayer for you. Forever, forever, forever you'll be in my heart. I will love you forever, forever. So many songs. I don't know where to start, but I can't. Because like I said, music is my passion. Especially Bob Marley. I remember buying Bob Marley's album at 13 years old. And one of the songs that used to get me, Rasta Man, vibration, yeah, positive, do, I, vibration, yeah, I eyes. You get up and you quarrel every day. You're saying prayers to the devil, I say. Whoa, why not help one another on the way? Make it much easier, just a little bit easier. Now I'm going to get back to my gospel because I love my gospel so much. One of the things that I love to sing, especially when people are departing, goodbye world, I'll stay no longer with you. Goodbye pleasures of sin, I'll stay no longer with you. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. I made up my mind to go God's way the rest of my life. I think this next one will be befitting because it is a good day for me. I take one day at a time. I may plan ahead, but one day at a time I do take. Because you just don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus washed. When Jesus washed. He washed my sins away. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Jesus, my friend, he taught me how to say bright and day and live rejoicing every day. Oh, happy day. Oh, oh, happy day. 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 Oh, happy day.